played overall reasonably okay, but obviously very disappointed not to finish higher up the rankings.
So we're down to 4, and Paul McPhillips has the lead right now, with Paul Davies on the short stack. Still much too close to call, though.
It'll be Paul Davis under the gun. 150 to call. And Paul is a nice little package of a poker player here. He's been playing a couple of years, but he's really been showing some good decision making so far this evening.
100.
Raise to 400.
That's been his standard raise. It's sort of double the big blind and a little bit more.
That's right, Jesse, and Paul was our early chip leader. Oh, and here we found ourselves in a situation where Paul has raised it up a little bit. Of course, last time we saw this, Miles come over the top very quickly with a bigger ace, but this time he's considering his options.
Yeah, Miles had the ace-king and came over last time. Now with the ace-10, he doesn't know what to do, and Paul's gotten through. A hard stare from the schoolmaster.
Neil wants a piece of this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Neil's from the big blind. It only cost him 250 to call, and we've got two face cards versus the ace, and right now the ace has outflopped the other one.
Check.
Of course, Miles is sitting there thinking, oh great, I flopped top 2.
300.
300.
Jack would fit Neil nicely, make him a Broadway straight. Does he want to go for it?
The only time we've seen these two clash, Neil came off worst,
Pass.
and he's
Pass.
passed.
Yeah. I believe Neil has a lot of respect for Paul. In fact, Paul's earning a lot of respect all over this table. And that's the game he plays. I mean, he's not in a lot of pots, but he's done very well as the aggressor. And, you know, he's actually the short stack in this tournament, but you wouldn't know it to look at his face.
Paul Davies had a pair of aces. Neil Jervis nearly made a straight, which is higher up the poker ladder, but he had to settle for ace high, so Paul won the hand.
Big story this hand is pump up the volume. This game going to 11, 1 in 200 now. And Miles has announced a raise under the gun. Medium pocket pair here.
7 to play. Raise to 700.
3.5 times the big blind, pumping it up there. He's got pocket 5s. Paul's rubbing his nose again. Is he going to look down? As he's... Oh yes, he's found another hand. Another big pocket pair. Is he just going to call this time, or is he going to actually raise it?
Pass. Pass. Pass.
Wow.
I'm speechless.
Pass.
Oh, some amazing stuff, that hand. And you know, Paul McPhillips, chip leader.
I'm still speechless. That is astonishing. I cannot believe that he didn't at least want to see a flop. I mean, we're only down to 4 players here. Short-handed 10s are about as good as aces.
Still 4. And Paul McPhillips, the chip leader. The Scotsman in brown.
Pass.
Under
Pass.
the gun.
These two staring each other out.
Yeah, this is the deciding relationship at this table right now. Look at the way they're squaring off, like two boxers.
Oh.
Check. 400 in there.
2 players.
And a very nice flop for Miles. Paul could get himself in all kinds of trouble. Second pair versus top pair. Wow, those eyes can get very hard.
250.
Raise.
Do you know, I really like the way Paul plays here. He's flopped a pair. He's just put a small bet into the pot because he wants to find out where he is. And Miles is going to tell him.
Raise to 800.
Yeah, that message came by carrier pigeon with wheels on. Paul's made such good decisions so far tonight. You have to assume he's going to do it again. I mean, he does have a good kicker with those sixes.
Look at him trying to pick up something, anything from Miles.
Well, for a guy who hasn't played much live, he seems to be a great watcher, Paul. Looking into the side of Miles' face, watching for the sweat trickling down. What's it going to be now? Well, he's giving him time. Sometimes it's so hard to believe that the guy's outflopped you, isn't it?
Mm.
Okay. I'm throwing the winner away here.
Yet another good fold.
Wow, he says, I think I'm throwing the winner away. And from Miles' point of view, he might have been. The kicker was not too good, but Paul, living another day. The size of relief, bags of stress falling off his
You
shoulders.
were behind.
4 players left in this 7th and final heat. And what a tremendous game it's been so far.
The Scotsman under the gun.
Raise
Belfast raising.
600 total.
Raise to 600.
What is Neil raising with?
Neil's raising with the button.
That's about all he's got.
All in.
Wow. And we've seen Paul lay down some big hands, but this time the A7, he's treated like it's golden, and it nearly is. Can he get through Miles and then on to Neil? What timing! How big's the re-raise?
1,000 more.
It's 1,000 more. The pot's 2,400. Just slightly below. Is he willing to risk 1,000 more in the hope that he has 2 live cards against his opponent? It's probably a third of his stack.
Queen 6 has to look like a bag of cockles right now.
Look at Paul. Paul knows he's winning this. Well, they won't be dating.
Neil's looking at him, and Paul is not turning away.
Pass.
Pass.
I've got news for you, Simon, about this Paul Davis. This guy can play. He can flat out play the game of No Limit Hold'em. What a re-raise. I mean, if you look at the sequence of hands, and Neil, he heard Paul say, I folded 2 queens earlier, and now the re-raise. What is he thinking is going on here? First place in this tournament, £50,000. It's a lifestyle package including a beautiful car for a year, vacation anywhere in the world for you and another. Could be me.
That's right, Jesse. Of course, they can have the alternative of £25,000 in cash to go with those £25,000 worth of buy-ins, major tournaments all around the world. So, round to Neil
Raise to
Jervis.
600.
Likes to fire these chips in.
Not too much.
So another 500 top.
So, okay, raise to 700.
He's made it 700 to play. Oh, Paul's asking how much he's got left. Of course, Paul, oh dear, Paul's in the big blind here. He's got another ace. Well, he's done everything right so far tonight. Surely he's not going to move in with an ace-6.
1750.
Plus the 700.
It's a different story when the guy raises you on the button and you've got to feel that he's stealing. When he only raises 500 into the big blind.
All in.
Oh dear.
All in.
Call.
He has made
Black
a
dice.
move. Too many, too far. And Simon Trumper, these two are very close in chips. 2 10s better than the ace high.